All right, to talk about this overtime win by the Edmonton Oilers last night, here is Ryan Rishaug joining us from inside the bowels of the arena. Ryan Rishaug, Evan Bouchard, clutch performance again. What can you say about what this guy is doing for this team right now?
Yeah, I mean, listen, when the game is on the line, he's got pretty solid nerves. He is rock solid and he is dependable. And I got to be honest with you, Jay, it's not always been like that with Evan Bouchard so far in these playoffs, right? There have been some unbelievable moments, but there have been some shaky moments too. Think about earlier on in this game, Bouchard with a missed play at the offensive blue line, puck down in the other direction. That was a big moment in the game. But keep in mind, this guy, 2 goals last game, and he found it again tonight. The first one was a bit of a lucky one, some bouncing around, but this goal to tie the game late in the game was absolutely clutch. It's the best of Evan Bouchard, being able to wire a puck and being able to pick a spot. You'll recall, Jay, how dominant he was in last year's postseason at both ends of the ice, offensively, defensively. So far in this series, he's been very good offensively. The D is coming. But with Matthias Ekholm not in this Oiler lineup, Evan Bouchard, they need the absolute best of him at both ends of the ice. And for the second half of the game tonight, they got that, and he continues to score absolutely clutch goals, Jay.
And yet they had to come from behind once again, Ryan. I heard you asking Chris Knobloch about it post-game, and he said, good question. How does this team get better starts, especially going into Game 5, Ryan?
Yeah, I don't know. They seem to have this personality trait where it's not till they're backed into a corner that they really, truly can conjure up their best, Jay. And that's not a great trait. It's something they need to dig down and figure out because, they show when they're going, they absolutely can play with or outplay this LA Kings team. But look at some of these mistakes that they're making early on in games. All 3 of the Kings goals, really, they can point to individual mistakes that end up getting made. And so figuring out how to come out with the same level of intensity they played the last part of the third period in overtime, figuring out how to harness that and bring it to the first period is going to be absolutely crucial, Jay. And the other little subplot here happening in this series, the LA Kings are basically, playing 4 defensemen, 9 forwards. They are piling the minutes up on a few of their guys. And a common refrain for the Oilers post-game tonight, Jay, was talking about wearing them down, talking about the fact that their bench is short. The Oilers really believe as this series continues on, if LA continues to do that, it's going to be a big-time advantage for them. And they believe that's a big part of why there was such an advantage for the Oilers in terms of carrying play in overtime, Jay. It was notable.
All right, so let's see if that carries over to Game 5. That'll be Tuesday back in Los Angeles, and we'll talk to this guy right after that game, too. This is our Ryan Rishaug.